さんいかがお過ごしでしょうか。アウターワールド続きをプレイしていきます。この船の船長になって、次はこっちか。300メートルだから大した。なんか街が見えますよね。すごいな。綺麗ですね。鮮やかな感じですね、この場所。なんかいる。ここにもいるのね。これバレたのかな。やばい。バレてますね。ヘッドショット一発は無理。そっか、これ使えばいいんだけど忘れちゃいますね。なんかこれやる前はボーダーランド3をやってまして、そのノリで見える。何も持ってない。これは上はあんま道外れると強いやつが出てくる。ホールアウトでそんな感じですからね。ちゃんと街があるがなんか変なんがいる。あれは怪物っぽいのがいますけど。あれ、あ、兵士ですよね。兵士は大丈夫なんじゃないですかね。お、気づいた。
Oh, hey, where'd you
お、
come
サイラ
from?
さん。
Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory, friend.
わかった。どうして俺が略奪者じゃないの？
You talk too pretty for a marauder. Most of them just grunt and yell. Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls and low prices.
名前を。
Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you.
赤森。
Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family.
会社なんですね、スペーサーズチョイス。電力調整器について誰に聞くといい？
Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? You a smuggler? Freelancer?
それは仕事による。何か仕事をくれるのか。
Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see?
ああ、これはサブクエですね。
4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little.
中梨を特別だ。
He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it.
あれ
Just
なんですかね。
make sure he pays up. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad. Yeah?
ホープに関する話。
The colony ship? Are you talking about that old rumor? Some great big starship packed full of colonists what got lost in the aether, never to be found again? Ain't heard that one since I was but a stripling. Can't say it was terribly convincing as far as rumors go. There a reason you asking?
あ、私、
Alright, easy now. No need to get your hackles up. Maybe you've been out in the sun too long. Why don't you head over to the cantina? Get yourself some zero-G brew. It's a brew that's good for what ails you. Look, I don't know what's got you caterwauling about hope this and colony that, but you need to stop. Or there's gonna be trouble. Something I can do for you?
まあいいや、はい。とりあえず、サブ。そうですね、まずこれからですよね。メインクエスト。なんで。新入社員がやらされてるんですね。あ、こういう先輩。あ、ちょっと先輩はやっぱ装備が違う。あ、やっぱね、近接武器しかないっていう。企業か。エッジウォーター。カオケとか買って。エメラルドベール。警備してないけどオフの日なんですかね。へえ。スターブレイン、かっこいいですね。
A friend of mine died a couple weeks back. Still ain't past it.
I know how you feel.
あ、作業台。まあ基本メインをバンバン進めて、レベルは大変そうであればちょっと
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
サルツナカンネリーっていうんですかね。これが工場なんですかな。こう入れるのかな。いきなり強盗かよって感じ。こんなバンバン入ってきたのかな。おお。
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with, well, not fish.
話終わりました。ちょっと。
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
あんたがリードか、あんたと話した方がいいと言われてな。
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
スペーサーズチョイスの従業員じゃないし。
Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
俺の船は修理が必要なんだ。電力調整器を探している。
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator.
ああ、わかるよ。わかるよ。確かにね。
I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
聞かせてもらおう。
There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
ほとんど背景どういう意味で言ったんだ？
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
略奪者のことか。略奪者は人ではないはずだが。
The people living in the botanical labs. They're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
脱走者問題解決したいなら一人につきいくらか請求するぞ。ちょっと
Good Lord, no, I don't want you killing anyone, least of all them. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab.
ああ、わかりました。
Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
特徴は
Adelaide's older than the other deserters.
年長、威厳
She's
がある。
dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
ここでこう噛みつくか。労働者はそれなりの理由があったから街を去ったはず。
That reason was me. I asked too much and pushed too hard. But I am ready to make amends if they are willing to return to the fold. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
わかりましたよ。
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful.
パールバーテ
I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
ィ。そうっすね。
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
行きましょうか。親しきとも仲間。戦ってくれる、スキルを高めてくれる、運搬能力向上。はい。
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
そうですね。部長がいる前じゃ話せないですよね。来てくれるのかな。あ、来て。パールパーティーってあれですよね。神話の女神とかの名前ですよね。サラスバティとかパールパティとか。女神転生で
Mister, can we talk? Sorry. You got a minute?
ああ、こういう話しかけもしてくるんですね。ああ、これもホールアートと同じような。
Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
それは脱走者の話か。じゃあ話のすべてどういうことな
To
の？
Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
アデレードは知ってるの？
Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. All I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place.
脱走者。もっと詳しく教えてくれ。リード・トプソンとアデレードがこのシザリーは何？
Can't say as I know. I wasn't there. The sound carried, but not the words. If Mr. Thompson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best ask Miss McDevitt, if you can get out to her.
脱走者についてどれだけ知っていたんだ？一緒に働いていたのか友達だったのかそれとも何人かだったの？
I don't know anybody well. I mostly listen to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident.
立ち去りたいと望む誰かを責めるのはできない。この街には問題があるだけだ。
Life's hard here, especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
わかりました。
Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
まあちょっとそうですね。私も会社は嫌いなんでなんかこう、舌を吹かせたいですね。信用してないですよ。ははは。
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
で、これマップは、今は、なんか出ないんですかね。わかんねえな。2つメッセージ届ける脱走者への伝言と牧師と話す。これ牧師さんかな。教会っぽい。入り口は
I've always felt
ああ、
weird
そうですね。
here. It's too clean.
Hey there, Mary. Don't see you around here too often.
Oh, I just came to talk to the vicar is all.
あ、いたいたいた。
None of us are above confessionals.
Yes, what is it?
you're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions? The quickest way out of town?
リードが俺たちから頼んだことについてパールパーティーから話があるそうだ。
What? I thought you would talk to him.
振っちゃったよ。
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do?
アデレードたち脱走者への送電を停止することだ。
Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
そこであんたのアドバイスは
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold.
こいつもどうなんですかね。企業の
If it were as easy as a few soothing words in the right ears, I'm sure it would have been done already. Consider it a challenge. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book.
はい、牧師が異端の禁止を欲しがるんだ。
I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption.
嫌とは言えないじゃないか。
Glad we see eye to
まあいい
eye.
っすよ。あったら。
It's a handwritten journal, a faded blue cover with the name M. Bakono handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
まあなんかちょっとわかんないですよね。企業の息のかかってる人だったら。ということで、ここか。に向かいましょうか。サルツナ・カンネリー。回り込まないと。これは北橋か。500メートル。 しね。スタミナはないからずっと走ることができる。パールバティがついてきてますね。ああ、ちゃんといろいろありますね。エナジーセル、ビットカートリッジ。
Incoming!
あ、命令も下せられるんだ。上手してるけど。何死んだ。この今持ってる銃ですね。It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice. お、実験場がありました。ボタニカルラブ。だから野良犬なんですね、これで。頭蓋骨の突起。うわ、この
Move
世
along,
界はやだ。
stranger. We don't want any
お、
trouble.
痛い。尻尾も。ロメロさん。
Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along.
なんで切れてるんだ。アデレードを探してる。答えてほしいことがあるんだ。
Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those.
ここにも一人いるんだよ。とりあえず地熱発電所を探している。何かしていることはあるか。
A geo what? Look, plants ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you.
アデレードはどこにいる
Over in the hothouse, tending crop. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind.
これだそうだ。宇宙船をどう修理しようか考えている。
Well, look at you, buzzing around the aether with your very own ship. Rest of us gotta make do with the ground at our feet. No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her.
注意しておくよ。
It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place.
クエスト、
She could
新しい
be
クエスト。
anywhere.
俺が見つけるよ。
Appreciate it. Honest.
じゃあちょっとアデレード。温室にいる。
Oh gosh, it's so pretty.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
あんたがアデレードだな。
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother. the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
リードにあんたとの和解を依頼された。
Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
あんたは町の電力を利用し生活している。完全工事もまあそんなところだ。まあそうしましょう。
Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
リードからあんたが使っている電力を彼の方へ戻すように依頼された。地熱発電どうとか言っていたぞ。
He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans?
はい、電力調整器が必要なんですよ。
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the
逆に
grid.
ね、こっちに来る。
Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
ちょっと恨みはどんな恨みがあるんで
You've
すか
seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork.
あ
His
あ、
heart
本当にもう
gave
道
out.
具のように扱われてるんですね。
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
分かったよ、ちょっとブ
I
レック
trust you
企
will
業を
listen to your
存
conscience.
在する形で、スキルはちょっと防御を上げようかなっていう気になりました。あ、違う違う違う。あー、でもロックピックもちょっとな。リーダーシップ、こんな感じですごい適当に OK。 仲間の能力1、2でこう左右で使えるのか。仲間レジャー。仲間の状態を見ることができる。ハンマーとか持ってんのね。パールバティさん。まあこれでいいんじゃないですかね。なんか武器のチェンジか。耐久は大丈夫ですね。これは これ取っちゃうとあれですよね。盗みですよね。はいはい。ちょっと、ブラック企業を、おお、鶏が、話せる。
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the
作
cannery.
業台発見で、地雷原か。よし、これで中入ってみましょうか。
The control room should be off to
お
the right.
お、
I hope we're doing the right thing.
自動販売機。ほとんどは一社のみの製品です。ハッキングスキルが20以上になるとアイテムを自動販売機に売ることができるようになります。あげといた方がいいですね。お金大切。こういう、これ、タバコは、拡散しなくなる範囲とか、こういう効果があるんですね。スナイパークリティカルダメージです。強化ですね。強化。精神特性。器用度プラス1、30秒とか。7は体力回復ですね。食い物は。上がっちゃった。はいはい。ここで解錠できる。メッセージ。ブレーデンさんから、スペースアジュ四半期報告書。人件費が予算を回って解雇する。もうひどいですね。トイレ。ピッキングできる。はい、目撃されないように。
Easy.
ってたボーダーランドやってたんで、クリティカルになるところをちょっと探しちゃうんですけど。で、こっち側ですよね。特になさそうですかね、こっちは。よし。今発電所の状態は発電効率 22%、低いですね。はい、発電先変更。送電先、発電先じゃない。これいい。これちゃんと勝手に植物の方に行ってますってことですよね。特にこちらが何かするわけでもなくやってくれる。ここは開けられない。吸入剤、ローション。恥ずかしい。
Unexpected.
すごい反応が、敵の反応が。これやばいっすよね。
Beginning.
Can't get past that armor. That's the last of them.
こちらも労働者がどんどんやられちゃった感じですね。かわいそうに。タバコ。いますよね。反応がある。
I'm on it.
Processing that.
Let's go!
金欠の方がいいのかな、ほら。やばいぞ。
leave me alone.
どっから
You're not real. You're not real.
機械工学入門書。いたいたいた。
You're not real. You're not real. Get away from me, Phantom. Shoot. Scram.
落ち着け。
You can talk? The Phantom's never talked before. I knew I shouldn't have eaten that sprat raw. See? See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting.
俺は幻覚じゃないぞ。
Of course. Do excuse me. I experience brief flashes of mania during which I am visited by the phantoms of my imagination. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder.
漢字が変ですよね、なんか。誤解。これ何をしてんだよ。
Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant.
エンジニアだ
I
ったのか。
specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repaired them, maintained, upgraded, did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section.
止め方知ってるんじゃないか？
Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons.
ロボットには対処できる。だからここまで来れた。
You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead.
ロボットは論理も自由に従って行動しているわけか。誰かが改ざんしたのか。
Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you.
わかった。ちょっと僕のクエストに発展しました。発展しちゃったので、ちょっと時間もだいぶ長引いたので、今回はここまでとします。ご視聴ありがとうございました。